Hi and welcome. I had told you that we were going to make some more of these little baby bouncers, and I've started a few, and this is what we have here. Is this green one I started, and I started a little blue one. So I did half of it, and this is all increasing the stitches. And I am on round 11. So on round 11, you do 3 single crochets in a row. So they look like this. 1, 2, 3. If you hear banging around in the background, that's my Shark vacuum cleaner. They do a pretty good job. And then you do 3 single crochets, and then you do single crochets 2 together. So that looks like this. And in doing these balls, I learned that you only go through the the back loop, and it'll look better. So I'm going to go through the back loop of the next stitch. I'm going to start my single crochet, pull through. Then to make a single crochet 2 together, I'm going to go through the back loop of the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, and then I have the 3 loops on the hook. I'm going to yarn through all 3, and that is closing up the gaps. So we're going to do 3 single crochets, and now we're going to do that 2 single crochet 2 together. So we're going to work on the back loops only. There's our first back loop. Yarn over, pull through. Now we want them together, so we're going to go to the next one, go through the back loop only, yarning over, pulling through, and we yarn over yet again and pull through 3 loops on the hook, and that'll begin to start rounding out the ball, as you can see. So we still have a little ways to go to here. So we're going to continue with a single crochet here, another single crochet. I'm going through both loops, and going through both loops, single crochet. And now I'm going to put these 2 together. So I'm going to go through the back loop only, pull up a loop, the back loop only of this one, pull up a loop, and then I'm going to tighten it down a little, and then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on the hook and tighten it down. So that's row 11. I should have 24 stitches, so I'm going to count to make sure that I do have 24, and I count in 2s. So, and I always look down when I count. I have a lot of extra yarn hanging around, but anyway, okay, so I'm going to count by 2 up to see how many stitches we have. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. I have only 22. So I need to make a couple more stitches for 24. So I'm going to 22, 23, 24. Oh, maybe I put too many. Doubling up. Okay, maybe I doubled up one too many times, so I'm going to back out of those two there. And sometimes it takes some figuring out in crochet. So I'm going to make 2 single crochets through here. 1 and 2. And I think I just added the 2, so I'm going to count my stitches again. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 18's here, 20, 22, 24. Okay, so I write it the wrong. Okay, so that was row 11. Now we are going to start row 12. And row 12 says single crochet in next 2 stitches. And then single crochet 2 stitches together. Repeat to the end. And this row should be 18 stitches around. So we're decreasing the amount of stitches on this side of the ball. So we're going to do round 12, 2 single crochets, 1, 2, and then 2 together. I'm going to go through the back loop only. 1, 2, then 2 single crochets, and then 2 together, back loop only, which is this side and this side of the V. I'm going to go through with the hook, tighten that down a little, yarn over, pull through the back side of the V, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. Let's do 2 single crochets, 1 and 2, and then 2 together. I'm trying to make sure I don't split my yarn, meaning go through part of it and not all of it. And if I did that, I would just pull out. And if that happens, I'm going to show you what that looks like. And now 2 single crochets. 1 and 2. And now 2 together. 1 and 2. Let's see what that's looking like. So that's what that little ball is looking like. I don't know if it looks like these here on the page, but that's what we're aiming for. You can do a lot with these. Okay, so that was the 2 decrease. Now we're going to do 2 single crochets. 1 single crochet and another single crochet through this little stitch. Boy, that's a little short stitch, isn't it? Because they're 2 together. And we're going to go all the way to here. through the back loop only, back loop only, yarn over, pull through 2. It's really 3 on the hook, but pull through 3. Now a single crochet, a single crochet, and 2 together. 1, 2, I'm trying to get this tighter, so I'm gonna just pull on those and then get that a little tighter here by pulling in on my working end of the yarn. Now I'm gonna go through those back loops again to get a better looking stitch. And they're all 3 down. That one's not as high and gonna stand out and be this loose. Okay, and then I think we need 2 more here. So 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and now we're going to count our stitches. Doesn't take long to close up these little guys. Okay, let's give a count here. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. And that's exactly what we need, is round 12 is 18 stitches. So far so good. You're welcome to stay with me while I finish the rest, because the next row is row 13 and you need 1 single crochet and then 2 together. So this won't take any time to work around this round. So 1 single crochet. Well, I'm stuck on something, so I'm going to let go of it instead of pulling. See, I grabbed a loop from another area here. You can see that it was pulling. Okay, so a single crochet, 1 single crochet, and then 2 together. 1, 2, and now bring them together, and then 1 single crochet, and now 2 together, back loops only. That'll make it so you don't see through to the center of your stuffing. You don't want to see the stuffing in your make. So if you work only on the back loops, you won't be able to see in. It'll help hide your stuffing. I'm sure there are plenty of other methods, but that's what I'm using here today. So it's how it's coming along. It doesn't have such a streamlined look as when you're increasing. When you're increasing, it's really fresh looking but when you decrease, you have this sort of messy look, if you ask me. So I was trying to come up with a way that I just do an increase side and an increase side and then put them together. And so I'm going to work further on that, because I'm not so sure I like decreasing. I don't think it looks as clean. Let's see here, where were we? Okay, that was a single crochet I just did. Now we're going to put 2 together. 1, and 2, and a single crochet, and 2 together, really closing up here. And we know we need to go all the way to here, to this beginning here. So that was 2 together, the last one we just did. Now we're going to do 1 single crochet. Seems like a really long working end, so I'm going to pull it tighter. I'm going to go through the next stitch, make a single crochet, and then 2 together, close those 2 up, and we're almost back at the starting point here. We can see because of the change in the colors, and I'm not worried about changing colors and having it all even. This is about learning how to make these little round bouncers. They call them baby bouncers in this book. I think it's very cute. Okay, and now 1 single crochet, and I think 2 more together, but I'm ready to count. I want to make sure I don't go too far. All right, I'm going to count the number of stitches, and then I have to unravel this little nest over here. Okay, so we're on around 13. We should have 12 stitches that we just did. So I'm going to count them, and I count by 2. So this is 2 stitches. So 2, 4, 6. I'm going to put my thumb there. Oh, I'm going to start over. Okay. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and we have an extra one, so I know that I need to make 1 more stitch, and that's putting 2 together. So we'll do that. We don't want 13 stitches. We would like 12 in this round. Okay, and now I'm going to count those again because you never know. Okay. Two, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. 12 stitches. Okay. Now I look back at my pattern. Round 14, single crochet 2 together around until the hole closes. But if I look back up at round 13, it says stuff the ball. So I'm going to get my stuffing and stuff the ball. I keep it in one of these little sleeves. And I like to use this organic cotton. It has some little chaffing in it, but that's fine with me. It's organic, non-bleached cotton. But before I get started there, I need to take care of all these ends. All right, let's unravel things. There's the blue one. Here's my working yarn. And what I had done is I'd left a lot of green in case I wanted to finish it with green, but I decided to go with blue so you could see where we began, which round. Okay, I am going to cut this extra yarn off from there. And just tuck the rest of that right back in that ball. That'll help fill it up. And I'll pull up this loop a little further so it doesn't fall out on us. And now we'll get to stuffing. Always recommended to use little pieces and put them in as small as you can. It takes more time, but it's worth it because you won't have all these lumps in there. I'm wondering if I filled these with rice or beans. That would be fun. Like a little bean bag, a bean ball. You could try that on this next one. It's kind of soft. You don't want it too hard. You don't want it too soft. If you overfill it, what I've learned is you can stretch your fibers so much that you can literally see inside there. It doesn't look good. I am going to do a little more because if I put my finger in there, I can find voids. Yeah, I can feel void here. It's like it's empty. This is all sort of has a void, so. And I'm just pushing down gently around to try to get it sort of even in there. And fill this with a lot of stuffing. I think I'm going to put a little more in there. I feel like that's good. Okay. All right. Hi, Ken. What's the matter?
Can you check my head? I just pulled the pick off my leg.
Oh.
I checked the rest of me, but I can't see my head.
How big is this
Oh,
tip?
it was a big wood tick.
I'm going to turn around so you see the back. Want me to look at your back?
No, I already did.
Oh, okay.
It was big enough to see. I mean,
Okay.
pretty obvious. It was a tick.
Oh.
I'm gonna change my shirt because I had a black shirt on.
You shake it out outside, please. Your shirt, your black shirt.
Oh, it wasn't on my. It was on my leg. It was right here. Sat down on the chair and I saw it.
You might have. Those are black too.
Yeah, but I checked. No, I must have got it somewhere out there. Maybe it's time to spray that cedar stuff.
Yeah, it could be.
How you doing?
Good.
You all right?
Yeah.
Stomach good? You're still out of breath?
A little out of breath. Stomach's good.
I wonder if it's not the smoke. You said it's unhealthy.
Maybe.
The maid's working.
Yeah, no, I like that. Okay, and now the last round, the pattern says single crochet around until the hole closes. So put my hook in. And see, if this is an example of overstuffing, like you can start to see inside your piece, and really you don't want that. So I'm gonna push down on my stuffing. Oh, single crochet 2 around until it closes. All right, let's start over again. I feel like I need to take some stuffing out. There, okay. Now, should be the last row is 12. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. Okay, there. Now we're back to where I should be. All right, now we're gonna single crochet 2 together until it's closed. So single crochet 2 together, we're gonna go through the back loop only, yarn over, pull through, back loop, I might have gone through both loops there. Go back through. No, I didn't. That was on the other one. Okay, I'm gonna go through. That was a back loop. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on the hook. Now we're gonna do another one right here. It's really small work here, for me anyway. And the back loop again. Okay. And we're gonna do a few more. Oof. It's getting tighter. Back loop, pull through. And see, there's that next one right there. Go through it. Yarning over, pull through, and pull through 2. All right, let's see. And I think I'm going to try to do 2 more. Well, actually 1 more. So here's the next one right there. It's it's like going down. Yarn over, pull through, and we're going to do this one here. Go through just the back of this stitch right there. It's hiding on us. Right there. Whoop, looks like I might have yarn from the other side. Yeah, I don't want that. So I pulled it back out because it looked like I was splitting a stitch from the stitch beside it. Pull through all 3 loops on the hook. All right, well, my goodness. Okay, what do we think here? So there's our ball, and you came along for the ride. Wonderful. I'm gonna cut that. Yarn over, and after I tighten, I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to pull through, and I'm going to pull it all the way up through, and then I'm going to bring it to the inside of our ball. So I'm going to just come in anywhere, stick my crochet hook in, and I want to get a little closer to the top of the ball. There we are. Okay, bring my crochet hook out like that. I'm going to wrap the yarn around and bring it right into the center of my ball. And I can even pull it out this side. All right. Now, in order to bring it back in, I just go inside to the blue. I'm going to come out where the yarn is. I'll yarn over and pull it back through. Now, here's where we're going to anchor it. Okay. I'm going to go over a loop, any, pattern here or place in the pattern, and I'm going to go in here, and now I'm going to come up right there and then pull the yarn through again. And what this is going to do is it's going to sort of anchor it so that if this starts pulling out, it's going to be stuck. And we're going to do that a couple more times. At least that's what I do. And so that's where the yarn is. I'm going to go over this and pull it through there. And really, honestly, you can't really see it. And then just to hide the yarn all the way through, you can even do this. You can go to the other side, and we'll go over stitches one more time just to be sure. Then you could pull it all the way through if you want. And if you wanted to keep that yarn there, you could. You could put it out of the end and have it just dangling down or something. So it's all the way through. I'm just going to, the trick here is you pull really tight on it, and then you snip it, And when the ball lets go, it goes inside the ball. Gets pushed in. And sometimes I use the end of my scissors, these guys here, to push in the fabric, the stuffing. So there's our little ball, and I don't know if you noticed the difference, but the decreasing isn't quite as attractive as the increase side of the ball. This is the increase of this white one. Now this is the decrease. It doesn't show quite as much on this ball. Let's look on this white one. I think this is the increase, and then that's the decrease side. Thanks for hanging out today, and I hope you try making these. They're fun. All right, let me know if you have any questions.